Forestry South Africa is an industry association to represent all timber growers in South Africa. So it serves as a platform for collaboration by the industry on areas of common interest, economic interests, social impacts, environmental impacts and interests of the sector, and then also obviously as an entry point for engaging with government, organised labour, the media, service providers and so on. So there's a vehicle through which people can discuss and collaborate on forestry issues. Sustainability in a forestry context means you need to make sure that your business is sustainable, not just in economic and financial terms, but also in terms of social sustainability and environmental sustainability. We've got a unique positioning in that our sector itself, particularly on the environmental side, has got an excellent track record in terms of environmental conservation. We, for example, only plant 70% of our land holdings, whereas there's no other land user that would give up 30% of its area for the management of conservation and biodiversity. Independently, assessments have been made on the state of indigenous forests and the state of grasslands associated with plantations, and almost invariably our industry comes out on top. So there's a very strong conservation focus in our sector on protecting the areas that are not under timber. One of the most pervasive myths in the environmental discourse in South Africa is that timber plantations use a lot of water. They do not use a lot of water, neither in absolute terms nor in relative terms compared to other sectors. We use 5% of the water used by agriculture, but we return around 27% of agricultural GDP and about the same figure in terms of jobs. And I'm very pleased to say that the High Court found in industry's favour that in actual fact our water use is infinitesimally smaller than what the government officials and the former government hydrologists were maintaining. One should also remember that we use rainwater, so there are no costs to the state to supply water to us. And finally, the water that comes out of plantation areas is of excellent quality compared to that of agriculture or mining. On the social side, our industry is located in rural areas where some of the worst poverty in the country exists. So to have a sector that's providing employment, that's providing a myriad other social returns to education, healthcare, infrastructure is fantastic, and it's something that we're very proud of as a sector. In terms of economic sustainability, we're also quite uniquely placed as a sector in that we are growing our own feedstock. So this is a sector that uses green, renewable, recyclable raw materials that can be produced in perpetuity if we do it in a sustainable manner. This is a sector that really is embedded in the green economy and is a true circular economy sector. Economic recovery is on everybody's lips. As we get the economies back up and running, let's try and focus on those economic activities that can truly be called green, that use natural resources to say these are the kinds of sectors that as a country and as a world we should be focusing on to limit our ongoing impact on the environment. So the concept of the circular economy is trying to manage economic activity by sector from a cradle to grave perspective. Very strong focus on reuse and renewability of products produced. In our sector, we're actually privileged in that we can grow more feedstock. We're not extracting minerals from the ground and dependent on finite resources. The resources we're producing are actually renewable. The other thing, there's the whole world moving away from non-renewable and non-sustainable products like plastic and so on, creates a massive opportunity for the sector to play in that space. So paper packaging, plant-based plastics are typical examples of where the world is moving towards saying we like both renewable but also recyclable products, and this industry is very well positioned to play its role in that space.